I don't know how we're going to film this really, with not being able to turn the camera around when I'm recording, so that we'll have to do it this way. So we'll just say and we'll get off of this to here. So you could say I've stepped down from the world stage. Or if you put it in royal senses, you could say it's an abdication, a stepping down, which of course has an opposite in stepping up. This universe, this reality has certainly done exactly that. On the first day of Aquarius, which was the 21st of January on the Gregorian calendar. I went out yesterday. I well and truly stepped out of my comfort zone. I don't dance, but I find myself moving to the rhythms of some beautiful vibrations in music at this open session for there's some beautiful, very accomplished musicians come along. But yesterday, in some ways, was a little disappointing in the fact there wasn't lots of people, because I wanted a large audience to share a message, which has been more like a stand-up comedy, an intro, and then introduce the band that would then play, which I'd have no connection with. But as it turned out, let me just explain. This is thank you very much to Julia from Simplicity Revealed channel. I've referred to her personally as being a guardian angel, and I'm now saying it publicly. She's helped me out with food again. I was really looking forward to Sunday, and it didn't disappoint, put it that way. So we're stripped down to the bare bones. We've got this guy Ron, very accomplished pianist, beautiful singing voice, beautiful energy, wonderful, beautiful man. Julia's nephew, Kenneth. I wanted to ask him a question about where he had I think it's a stroke, and he's sort of paralysed down his right side. He doesn't have full mobility. And it's so easy for every one of us to say, oh, you shouldn't be like that. Well, I didn't even have to ask. He told me, and he's told me before, that he's quite happy. And I said to him, if you're happy, I'm happy. But if you ever want full mobility again, keep me in mind. How do I know this? I've only got to look at Ludwig van Beethoven. His most famous piece of music is da-da-da-da, Symphony number 5. It has a sort of nickname called Fate, and that's the Fate motive. It's actually the notes E, 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 C. So this E is energy, is it not? According to Albert, he's an Einstein and a half. So you've got 3 energies, so that would say a trinity, and 1 C. So how going to be a 1 C? Well, what if I use the mind's eye rather than the physical eyes that are looking at this external picture? We'll come on to that. This realm is a duality. Everything is a reflection. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall and shattered into infinite pieces, which is basically the origins of the Big Bang Theory. It's a half-truth, because it's not untrue, but it's not the truth. It's not all of the truth. It's not telling you you are part of that. It's not involving you. It's suggesting it's something you're separate from, which is untrue. It's all a part of you. So with it all being a reflection, it was fascinating what came out. A sort of realization, and the universe is just saying, you've got to step up. But here's the rub with it. You can't step off the stage. You can't step down when you realise the whole world is a stage. So I could roll my eyes, I could look up. That would be a huge subconscious clue, because if I look at the night sky, which stars am I going to see first? Am I going to see the biggest, brightest ones, or am I going to see those little tiny faint ones? Which would you say I would see first? Would I not see the brightest stars? There's a song by Elton John, you live your life like a candle in the wind. Well, let's take that at the superficial level. You've got a stick candle in a little holder, you go outside, there's a gust of wind, the flame is extinguished. But the candle, in that metaphorical sense of that song, you live your life like a candle in the wind. You have no fear of any sudden gust, any winds of change. That would be the lower ego that's speaking, that doesn't like change. So it is correct, or a preferable path, shall we say, to live your life like a candle in the wind. Have no fear of these gales and gusts and hurricanes, and especially when you know what's creating them. The winds of change. It's always be careful what you wish for. I was referred to with a food order yesterday as the Hat Man. I said, was that a guess? Because you're partially correct. Yes, I am the Hat Man. Now, many of you would think, Hat Man, oh, something negative, something to be frightened of. So the story goes, what about the Mad Hatter? You've got to be mad and to blend in a crazy world, have you not? Because this world is, from my observation, is very crazy. But what a beautiful challenge it is. There's an art in everything. Everything living, everything in this reality, everything in a material form. There is art in everything. Now, with a piece of art, visual art, like a painting, generally it is framed, is it not? And then displayed in a frame. But what about the picture, external of you, that's being shown? The living picture. Can you see an edge to it anywhere? You can see as far as your physical eyes will allow you to see, or if there's something like a hill in the way, you'll see as far as that. But you can see the sky. But what's the depth of that sky? Can you see the edge of it? That picture's constantly changing because it's not framed. It has no time frame. See, this is something the universe showed to me. I'll show you something now. It's beautiful. It's a pocket watch. It's got 2 wolves on it. A wolf is associated with wisdom. You know that pocket watch is absolutely fantastic. It's right, accurate, once every 12 hours. Imagine that. So in the micro sense, I've stopped time. I've only got to refer to the Doctor Who storyline called The Time Robber, when the Time Robber gives a book and a pen to the Doctor. And after all, I am Dr. Juan 44. And the Doctor says to the Time Robber, you've just given me equal power. You can write the script and so can I. What an interesting game we now play. You don't want to hear complaints about what you don't like, because you're taking a bite from the tree of knowledge. You're creating a judgment. You're saying that's good. You're saying that's bad. You're not observing it. Nobody likes a cheat. But let's look at cheat. What is cheat? If you can't see heat, you don't realise you're playing with fire. Nobody likes a cheat. It's not the right way. It's going to get you material wealth. It's going to give you a luxurious perceived luxurious lifestyle, but it's material, therefore it is finite. You can, of course, set things up with karma from what you pay forward. If you really want to come into this life and have a billionaire lifestyle, so as it is perceived, and be on a yacht in the Caribbean for 6 months of the year and drinking champagne, being a functioning addict, maybe your preference would be cocaine. Now, I'm not advocating it, I'm using this as an illustration, but your preference may be for something like that. So, but you can still function, but would you not get bored? There's no judgment on whether that's right or wrong, but I can make judgments because I am the authority to make the judgments. I've got to step up, so it's a revelation. Yeah, I am the King of the Jews. Now that's quite a claim to make, is it not? See, the world's a reflection, so I'm just watching what everybody's subconsciously projecting in their clothing, in the colours they've picked, in the sharp edges, the contrast of black and white, picking up that that person is quite OCD and is frustrated by unconsciousness, likes everything in order, likes everything ship-shape, precision clockwork, like a Swiss watch. All from the clothing, star signs a lot. It's like this person's an earth sign for sure, very down to earth and fascinating. See, part of yesterday I had a craving for some human interactions with the living, and I got just that, and it was beautiful. So I find myself doing something I hadn't done before, which was stepping up to a microphone. Now, the original idea was to just talk and do something more on the lines of a stand-up. I've never been totally happy with the idea of karaoke because it's restrictive. You can only do what the pre-recorded music is going to do. Yes, you can adjust it to suit your vocal cords, but you can't vary it. There's no living in the present input, so you might get a really good guitarist who can improvise a little bit between notes and add in a few little extra trills and things and just change it, slow it down, make it more bluesy, make it deeper, that kind of thing. So it's led on to me making a playlist of songs I should be singing and putting out an esoteric message, and I'm not saying you have to like it. There's no plans to be some signing up to any record company, and it's not about that. It's about we can use what we've got. If you really like it that much, well, record it and put it on some media device, I don't know, as a memory card or stick, or that you can put in a computer and downloads, anything like that. But that'd be a huge compliment in a way, but it's really just about the message. So yeah, let's go back to this King of the Jews thing. So the first thing to understand is what a Jew actually is. It comes from a Gaelic word. As I've said before, Gaelic is very old. It goes back to Atlantis. And Tara Hill, where everything was centered, where you get Tartaria, comes from. It just basically means it's the ones on the other side wish to get rid of, to say ta-ta to say goodbye to, because they want to replace them. Where was I going with this? Yes, so there was no letter J, so it comes from the word Yule, which you can see closely related is the word oil. It's to do with blood. It's to do with the Yule. It's the U, the L, which should be love. That's the L you're looking for, because there is only love. That's the strongest force. That's the one that wins out every time. Might not seem it, but that's the beauty of the game. You've got to have contrasts in this reality, and it's observing those contrasts. So, Yule, king of the Yules. So a Yule, what actually is a Yule? And it's basically just anybody who's decided to do the walk, which is the spiritual path, which is also the natural path, because anything going on in the outside external world, I've got a natural internet, I've got a natural path, a naturopath way of finding out through a root system, because you want to, if you see something as a problem, you want to get to the root of it. So ground, earth. It's amazing what nature will just show you, what it will tell you. They are the signs by the day. Likewise, you have the signs by the night with the stars and their relative positions and movements. And of course, the constellations. Think about those clusters of stars, because you've only got to look at what is shown in the external Hollywood actors and actresses, people getting together for these Golden Globes and Grammy Awards, right across the whole spectrum, industrialists, billionaires, any type of organisation where there are a group of people all maybe dressed the same, of the same rank, and what it's actually saying is they move in certain circles. When you know that you're the centre of the world that you create around you, you are that artist that has created a living picture, but you loved it so much, it's all for your amusement. What's a muse? It's something you can ponder over endlessly, infinitely. So amusement for the mind, you see. This is what all this is. It's external reality. Some of you may find it offensive if I call it a computer or a machine. I'd say it is. It's not in an insulting way. It's not in the negative polarity way of saying it. Because it is exactly what it is. Just as you are it, even if you don't know that you are it. What do I mean by that? Well, you're informed, are you not? Forget about the conscious thoughts. You're informed with programs that the heart knows the regulation it needs to do, the liver knows its function, the kidneys know the function, the cells know how to interact with each other, the skin knows how to interact with and encase everything, and so on and so on. The breathing, the lungs, it's the information. The technology, well, technology is a design, is it not? So a physical being, are you not some kind of living machine? So why would you not think that Earth, Mother Earth, is also a living machine? Our concept of what a machine is, again, it comes down to making a judgment, not just observing and seeing. So I've been making a playlist of, I could probably do as a karaoke, or preferably with a band, and really go for it. And the universe has been saying, step up. So it's like, I'm inviting you along on this spiritual evolution to the age of Jupiter. Let's just have a look at that word, Jupiter. Jew again. Well, what is Peter? I would suggest Peter is Petra, which is a rock, and that's the cornerstone that the builders rejected. It was rejected because it's a metaphorical cornerstone. It is not a physical one. If you put a physical one on to a metaphysical stone, what do you think is going to happen? There's such a thing as gravity. The death of the situation, it's a grave eye tie, because you can see with your eyes that it has that heavy material stone has dropped. Because the other stone, that cornerstone, is in the unseen. You can't see it. The thing is, you know where it is. It's all an inside job. Likewise, Tartarus, Tartary, bye-bye, is, and why Tartary? Well, the script goes that the perceived evil are buried deep below ground and contained and not allowed out. They're imprisoned. That's what the whole point of a prison. Again, it's nothing external, it's something internal, because I observed the psychopath in me. The one that would do indespicable, I can't even think what, despicable things, murders, rather brutal things, and just because I've allowed an emotion to take control and allow something to get under my skin and invade and destroy the harmony and harm many of the cells because they turn acidic. So we don't want that. I refer back to what I've said about Germany. Germany. Be pure in your generations, in what you generate into your cells, and don't sell out. Not for material gain, I would advise, because I must be careful not to make a judgment. So, what are we up to here? We're up to 21, 22. Wow. Even that is a sign. So, do you believe me? That's actually an irrelevant question. It's not about whether you believe me. What I'm saying is, I'm introducing you to a gatekeeper, and it's not me. It's not this physical thing that you're seeing on the screen. It's you. Because your mind, something in your mind is not allowing you to see something and telling you it's not possible. It's making a judgment. It's your conscious mind. Your lower conscious is dictating the script in a way that doesn't serve you, not in the best, most optimal way. So you're King of the Jews, so what does that mean as well? Let's put it this way, something that's omnipresent, so therefore it's one in its presence. Where is it then? That's saying about if you can't see God in everything, you can't see God at all. So every day when I have human interaction with my eye, I'm actually undressing people in the metaphysical sense, with the eye, not with the eyes. And what I see is a flame. I see you for who you truly are. But of course it's all a reflection. And with the age of Aquarius, the first day of Aquarius, there was a dawning. Because it's like, what's being reflected to me when I'm noticing about what people are displaying from what they're wearing and the colours they've chosen. Rudolf Steiner says that black is the spiritual image of the lifeless. Keep that in mind. Now karma, whatever you cast out, especially like negative thoughts, whatever you cast out, it said it comes back tenfold. So imagine you're in that film Men in Black, and you've got that pen and you're doing the mind wipe. So you're projecting out a mind wipe. Now what happens when it comes back 10 times? And boom, a flash. Because we're in a realm of duality, it's not a flash of light, it's a flash of black. And it's like, well, for fuck's sake, I am the man in black. Isn't there two of them? Well, I can't remember what happened to the other one. Because it's me. It's all me. Just as it's all you. This is the weird thing. What you're looking for, it's not a geocentric reality. It's not a heliocentric reality. Well, it doesn't matter what it is. It's basically a cube. It's a diagnostic zone. And you don't want to die agnostic. You really don't. Because it means you haven't found out who you are. And you're going to have to come back and do it again. But the irony of that is, when you do know who you are, and you do know what you've created, and you do know what you can change and what you can't change, it actually becomes the most awesome, we could call it a computer game, and you jump into it and play it. It's all about play, and it is child's play. It really is. It's a machine. It's what it's designed to do. If anybody knows where that line comes from, what film, I'd love to know. Just out of curiosity, because I've built up a conscious picture